Alright, so what I want to teach us this morning is just to perform a simple quality data assessment. Well, the data I'm going to be working with as date of birth and different columns that we should work with, but I'm going to focus on the date of birth this morning. So the first thing we're going to do is that we are going to like to import some libraries to work with. Okay, I'm going to import the following libraries which I like to work with for this particular project. All right, so let us go ahead and say import pandas as pd, then we go import numpy as mp. Okay, so maybe, well, data we might need, I love to import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. The reason why I'm shortening it, the reason why you can see it has pd as mp as plt is because later on we might need those libraries, and we wouldn't like to write matplotlib.pyplot in full whenever we need to do some visualizations, or maybe we want to work with numpy. We don't need to type it in full. So the next thing I'm going to do now is that I'm going to like to define a data frame and import the data frame from, it's an Excel file. So I'm going to say pd.read underscore Excel. You can see the essence of what I did. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to open a bracket and say har, then okay, so you can copy the file path, or you can just define it here, say c column / then users. This is my own this is where my file is, paul / desktop is on the desktop, and it's inside a file, a folder I named it newest. Okay, then / the name of the data is updemog. Okay, updemog.xs ls, that xlsx. all right, that is, so this is the file extension for this. xlsx is the file extension for Excel, right? So let us see if what we've done is correct. So let us print our data frame. So we just say print df, since we've defined the df. all right, so while we say print df, we would like to also, all right, let's run that. So while we wait for that to run, we would like to also see the next thing we're going to do on in this class is that we are going to like to see the some of the missing values. So let us go ahead to see some of the missing values. So this is our data. So this is what it's returning for us. This is the data frame we have. All right, you can see some inconsistency here. That is why it is good to view your data. So you can see some inconsistency here, although that is not where we're going to, but we like to see if there are missing values in our data. So we would like to see different ways in which we can deal with them later. All right, so we say print. There are two ways of doing this. We say print, okay, df dot is null, then we open an empty argument, and we go ahead, then we open empty argument is null dot sum of the missing value. The reason why we are telling it to sum it is because we want to view the whole data. We want to see the sum of the missing values for each columns. So let us see what this returns. So the next thing I'm going to do is that, I told you that we were working with the date of birth. So let us see if we have date of birth. I'll tell you the advantages of this method. It has a lot of advantages. The advantages is that you can actually copy this directly, because Python is actually highly case sensitive, and you can see the name of the column. The first column, customer ID, first name. You can see that our guy here, the date of birth that we want to work with, has 87 missing values. Then the job title has 506 missing values. So, well, our major concern is the date of birth, which has 87 missing values. Alright, so what we're just gonna do next is that let me just tell you, there is another method. You can do this in another way. We can actually define it. We can say that missing values, instead of just printing it directly, so that we can use it later on. Missing values equals this, then we remove the bracket, remove this bracket too. Alright, so we'll go ahead. We now say print what? We're gonna print the missing value, so just copy this and this missing value, we copy and we paste it here. Then we are good to go. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is that I want to fill up the missing values of the date of birth with the mode. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is probably I'm going to calculate the mode first, well, which is not really necessary. I might just fill it straight up with the mode. Okay, so I'm just going to say print. Okay, so I'm going to say mode into, then we'll open another bracket, df dot dob, then we say that we come out of the bracket and we pass mode, and we open a square bracket, and that's our mode. Then we come down here, we copy the whole of this, and now we want to fill it, and we want to see what will happen if we are still going to have missing values. So we're going to say print, so we open bracket, we're going to copy into this, but first, before we're going to come back here, and we say df into, sorry, let's use the square bracket here. It's not necessary, we can also use df dot, but let's use the square bracket. So let us say dob and dot, so dot fill na, that's na means null values. So we're gonna fill, what I tell in Python is to fill the null values with the mode of the date of birth, and then we are going to have to give it an instruction that in place equals true. If you look at my true here, you would say that I'm typing with a capital letter. Okay, I started with a capital letter. True cannot take small letter as a first letter. So let us just cut this off and let's paste it down here. Let us see what that will give us. So let us print missing values. So we define missing values. The implication of this is that if I did not copy it, I wouldn't see the missing values from here. So let's just copy. Sorry, if I didn't cut it up from that place, it will not return the missing values to me. So up here, so missing values. Let us run now. Let's see what it is going to return to us. Okay, so let's wait patiently for that. Right, so sorry. All right, so if you look at the date of birth now, we have 0 missing values. It means you have successfully filled it. If I had not copied this, let me return it to the way it was. Okay, sorry. So if I had not done that, it would have returned the same thing, because language is in sequence. It will perform this instruction first. This first instruction, perform this particular instruction first before it performs this. So it's going to return 87 back. All right, so that is just the implication. That was why I cut it off from. You can see that now it's returning 87 as the date of birth. It's returning 87 missing values. But what if I cut this 2 off again? You can play around the data. You can do anything you want with your data. That's the interesting thing about Python. You can play around it. You can perform simple calculations, and this is our mode here.